I cannot believe it's been 20 years, first of all. So ARAHA 20 years ago for me was an alignment between, I guess, what most immigrant families or younger generation think about. They think about, how can I help the place that I escaped, that so many people, are still struggling with. I know that, most of the people who came from Somalia, for example, where I came from, that only, small percentage of maybe even 1% or even less than 1% actually is here, has the privilege of being in America. And so as a young kid growing up in Minnesota with my family, I was instilled in this idea of helping others. And that's something that I think both of my parents instilled in me, and obviously through my faith and through the teachings of our Prophet. And so it's interesting how I eventually connected to ARAHA. So ARAHA at the time was a brand new organization, and I was at Masjid al-Huda in Minneapolis, and this was Ramadan. And at the time I was just starting college, and was at the college I was helping out as a work-study job. I was an AV tech. So I was at the masjid, and here comes, at the time I think Brother Muhammad Idris and Sheikh Omar, and I don't remember anyone else. I think Brother Adam, they come to the masjid, they have this projector, they have a screen, and they're presenting, and it's a very short time in Ramadan when people can do that, very limited, maybe 10 minutes or less sometimes. And they're struggling as the projector is not working, and they're trying everything, figuring out which cable. And I really felt bad for them. And at the time, I knew a little bit about how to do AV, so I said, I can help. I got up there and started to figure out, quickly fixed it. They're up there, they show the video, and I think PowerPoint slides, and at the time I didn't think of anything. I just helped them get their projector. But the organization spoke to me. But it wasn't that. It was also the way the board at the time and these brothers also reached back. So I helped them, and then they're like, hey, are you interested in helping us tonight? We still need people to help count this money. I helped them count the money, help a few more things, and I found myself that ARAHA wasn't so distant. It was, if I was willing to do something, then here's an opportunity. And at that time it was such a, the beginning stages, the entire organization was run by volunteers. And since then I have been part of this organization. And I would say that I don't know what I would be without this organization. I think everything that I do today, the way I carry myself, the skills that I've learned, and the ability to feel that there's a lot of possibilities in difficulties, in places or ideas. When you go from starting a brand new organization to getting it to where ARAHA is today, and seeing the amount of hard work that has been taken over years to develop is really remarkable. So that's how I introduced to ARAHA. And then since then I've been on the board. I've traveled to the region many times. And every time I travel and every time I get more engaged, I become even more closer to the work. And I think that's true to anyone who volunteers. I would say the people who inspire me the most are even our donors, but the more even if donor shows up to one of these refugee camps or sees one recipient, they probably will donate 3 times more, because they'll see not only the work, but they will touch the impact. They'll see how big of an impact ARAHA has on people's daily lives. And so as the organization grew, I grew. And today, I would have to say that I'm proud of the work of ARAHA, and I'm proud of the ability and the progress this organization has made. I think for many people who want to know how this organization started, it really started with people with big hearts, big ideas, little resources, but knew that there were a lot of people who, if they heard the message, they would also be able to respond.